thousands of children are currently isolating. Why wait until next term to end the bubbles? Why not get the kids back in school now? We've already cost them months of education. Parents are desperate. Why not act now?
I want to say a massive thank you to parents and to teachers, to pupils for everything that they've been going throughout the pandemic, and I understand people's frustration when whole classes, whole bubbles are sent home and people are asked to isolate. So what's happening now is that Public Health England and the scientists are looking at the advantages, the possibilities of going to testing rather than isolation. They haven't concluded yet. So what I want to do is just to be cautious as we go forward to that natural fire break of the summer holidays, and when I think that the risk in schools will greatly diminish, and just ask people to be a little bit patient. But in the meantime, what we must do is keep on vaccinating the adults of the population so that they're protected against the infection, and that is going well. And you can see that even though cases are going up in young people, it's not feeding through into serious disease and death in the older generation.
Also frustrated are those who've had double vaccines, waiting for a dividend from this. They've done what you've asked, they've got their jabs, they still can't go on holiday. Will they be able to travel from the 26th of July as is reported?
I'm very confident that, Paul, the double jabs will be a liberator, and they will enable people to travel. We'll be setting out a lot more about the detail of that in the course of July, in the course of the next few days, about how we see it working. But there's no doubt at all that once you've got two jabs, you are in a much better position. Obviously, as everybody can see, we'll be going forward in the autumn with an extra vaccination program, a booster program for the more vulnerable, just to give us that extra insulation, that extra security that we need. But certainly, to answer your point, everybody who's frustrated about travel over the summer, double jabs will be a liberator. But I want to repeat a point that I've made before, and I hope people will forgive me if I say that I want travel to be possible, but I've got to stress that this year will not be like every other year because of the difficulties with COVID. People shouldn't expect that it will be completely hassle-free.
Thank you. Last one, if I may. You may have watched Wimbledon last night. The roof's closed. It's a giant indoor event with thousands of people not wearing masks. If it's good enough for Wimbledon, and the Oxford vaccine team were there on Monday with the roof closed, if it's good enough for them, why can't pubs, clubs, theatres get on with opening up, drop the restrictions, drop masks, and do what clearly people are allowed to do at the tennis?
Obviously, because what they do at those pilot events is they have a special testing regime and make sure that everybody who comes in is properly tested, and there's very, very little risk of infection. I know that people are impatient for us to open up faster, and of course I want to do that, but what I would say to people is we're now in the final furlong. I really believe we have to look very carefully at the data, and at the moment what we're certainly seeing is a big increase in cases, 26,000 as you will have seen, but that is not translating into a big increase in serious illness and death. And so it looks ever clearer that we have broken the vaccination program. The speed of that vaccine rollout has broken that link between infection and mortality. And that's an amazing thing. That gives us the scope, we think, on the 19th to go ahead, cautiously, irreversibly, to go ahead.
Well, mate, on the 19th, are you going to have the courage of your convictions and say distancing will go, masks will go, it will actually be normal, rather than a neutered version of real life?
I know how impatient people are to get back to total normality, as indeed am I, and we will be setting out, I'll be setting out in the course of the next few days what step 4 will look like exactly. But I think I've said it before, we'll be wanting to go back to a world that is as close to the status quo anti-COVID as possible. Try to get back to life as close to it was before COVID. But there may be some things we have to do, some extra precautions that we have to take, but I'll be sending all that out.